Hey you guys, this is Jeremy in the DAW, and in today's video, we're going to be starting a new series on showing you guys some pretty cheap and affordable gear. Now, for this first video, we're going to be checking out the BOYA BYM1. This is a very cheap lavalier microphone, and it's essentially designed for smartphones, tablets, laptops, and right now it's connected to the Panasonic G85 that I use to make these videos. Now, right now you're hearing the audio from my Roswell Mini K47. This is my vocal mic of choice, but we're going to switch over to the M1 to see how it sounds. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over from the microphone that I use for my normal voiceovers to the BOYA M1. Now you're hearing this from the BOYA M1. Honestly, from using this maybe 1 or 2 times, I have noticed that the audio quality isn't that great, but it's actually pretty usable, especially if you are a first-time lavalier microphone user, or if you have a really small budget and you're just trying to get into doing videos for stuff like YouTube and other stuff like that. Overall, it does sound pretty okay. It does have a pretty high noise floor, but that can easily be rectified using a little bit of noise reduction. Now, overall, for the price point, this is definitely a decent lavalier microphone. I personally have some more expensive ones, some from Shure. I have a bunch of cheap ones from Movo that I actually like pretty well. But for this starting off price point, the M1 is actually pretty decent. Now, of course, I do a lot of pro audio and stuff like that, and I do a lot of corporate sound, and this is definitely something I would never use for something like that. But for people doing YouTube videos or just starting off in audio, this is definitely something that you can check out to just get started. Now, the cable that this thing comes with is extremely long. Right now, I'm only about 4 or 5 feet away from the camera, and I think it has about like 10 or 12 feet more that I can go. The only reason why I don't do that is because then I can't reach the camera. But overall, this is a very decent, cheap microphone. Now, the specs on this thing are not really that impressive, and I'm going to have all of that shown to you guys as I talk. It's obviously going to be thrown up on the screen. One thing that I do find really cool about this thing is if you do plan on using it on a 1/4 inch style input, it does have a little adapter. Because this is TRRS, this is designed mainly for smartphones, so the adapter that it uses is just a tip ring. Now, overall, I don't usually use stuff like that because I find that there's no grounding, and because of that, it can get lots of interference. But there are adapters you can buy that are specifically made for smartphone style jacks. And with that, you could turn it into a balanced 1/4 inch cable, and then maybe plug it into a 1/4 inch XLR adapter, and I can maybe run it through my tube channel strips like I do with all my voiceovers. Overall though, this for the price point is not bad. And of course, since it does have a pretty Omni style polar pattern, I can easily move this. Let's move it maybe down here. And now I have it down set much lower, but it still should pick up my voice. One thing that I really don't like about omnidirectional microphones though, is that if you're in a lively room or an untreated room, you're going to pick up everything. Right now, they're doing a ton of construction right outside, and I can definitely hear it. I've heard it before when I've done some sound tests before. Normally, stuff like the cardioid mic that I have for my voiceovers will reject it as much as possible, whereas an Omni mic like this might pick it up a little bit more. That's why you have to speak very loudly and, make sure that you're actually being picked up. Now, for an Omni mic, though, for this price point, it's definitely something you should check out. I mean, it doesn't have the most robust sound. It doesn't have the fullest sound in the world, but it's cheap. It has a long cable. And if you're just starting to get into YouTube videos or making your own stuff, this is definitely a very long cable that can just be popped in directly to any DSLR. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me lots of comments and stuff. Let me know what you guys want to see next. This is something that we're kind of just starting to try out. We're not really sure if we're going to keep this going, and I don't really know how to do a format for something like a cheap mic and a cheap this and that. But we will try and we will figure it out. There is going to be another video coming out soon on the 12-gauge microphones. Those are the little shotgun shell microphones that are literally made out of spent shotgun shells. I have actually owned those for like 4 years, and I love them. So we're going to be doing a whole video series on those. Those are really cool, and those are also very cheap. Anyway, that's it for this video. This is Jeremy with the DAW, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.